Steve brought it to us. We were talking about it, and he knew that we were fans of the show and that we had watched it, and just through various other conversations that we had had with him, when this show came up, he sort of approached us and he said, is this something that, knowing that you guys are into it and interested and know the original series, is this something that you guys would want to be a part of? And, of course we were like, why wouldn't we? We were like, what a great show and what a great opportunity to be able to, again, take the spirit of that show that they did so well for the BBC, and that Kudos made it a terrific show, and be able to bring that to an American audience. So, yeah, we were thrilled.
The heart of it is this feeling of disconnection and trying to kind of find one's meaning in life. Sam keeps saying, what am I doing here? Which is, he's obviously referring to, why did I suddenly wake up and I'm in 1973 New York? But that question sort of can speak to all of us on like a bigger level, and I think that's something that he's going through, trying to, as he goes through it, I think the audience will see it kind of reflecting on their own life. I think that's what's at the heart of the show. And then in terms of what makes it different than a normal 70s cop show is this great, mythological element to it. I mean, we get to, by the way, we're doing a 70s cop show, but it's also like the cop shows at the time were a little bit more, more polite about the way police work was depicted. And here we're getting to, really show, it's almost more like the way a 70s movie would have depicted cop work than a TV show.
The idea that we're not going to be able to do forensics and fingerprinting and DNA and hair and fiber samples and all of that stuff. The fact that the police work that we're doing on this show is a lot about, the character work of who these suspects are and who the victims are, and or
just grabbing a guy and holding him up against the wall, threatening to put your cigarette out in his face and saying, did you kill her? Did you not kill her? It's like that kind of stuff.
The goal of the storytelling for us is to be able to tell sort of individual 1-hour police investigative stories that are close-ended, where they're gonna go after a suspect, and by the end we're gonna have some type of a resolution as to who did it and why and how, or maybe we'll never find out who did it, but there will be some kind of resolution. So there really are cases of the week, so you can sort of jump in and jump out. There will be sort of an underlying mythology as to Sam tries to figure out why he's in 1973, how this happened to him, and the different reasons that he comes up with, and we're going to explore a lot of those, and hopefully, you're going to want to tune in every week because you love these guys, but that's ultimately, we're not going to get overly mired in our mythology.
Absolutely. The first thing we did when we contacted the creators of the original, who've been great, was we said to them, we really, with your blessing, want to change the mythology. We want to be true to the spirit of the show and sort of launch the show on the same footing that you guys did. But if we had the same mythology, then people could go on Wikipedia and see how the whole thing ends. So the mythology is completely changing, and it doesn't end up at the same place, and it doesn't get sort of extrapolated in the same way. We haven't even rounded out our series regulars yet, so we really aren't at the place of stunt casting, though you'll be the first to know.
Mike Lossiello will.
Fair enough. You'll be the second to know. In terms of music, though, it's huge to us. And what's really important is not just using the big, obvious needle drops, that like those, we don't want to make it seem like just like your typical jukebox,
It's not the best of the 70s that we're trying to do.
It's really going for like those deep cuts on, on some sort of lesser known bands or some big artists, but like not their hits. And so we're having fun with that, and we're going to be really diligent about getting those songs into the show as much and as
as often as possible.
Yeah.